What's happening, everyone? I've got Bryanna today with us.
Hello.
From L4Lupus.
Yes.
So, and so I know that lupus is it's an autoimmune disease. I've read that there's 4 of them.
Yes.
And the most common one just happens to be the worst one to get.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us how you got involved in this? Kind of give us a little bit of background about yourself, and obviously lupus is a kind of a mystery to a lot of people, and I know that kind of from watching House, because you'd always be like, "It's not lupus."
Oh, so good! I love House, and thank God for him in that show.
But it's if you look back, that's the symptoms of lupus too.
Yeah, they're pretty common. So
Yeah.
it's hard to diagnose. So
Yeah.
what lupus is, it's a chronic autoimmune illness. It could come out through stress, environmental triggers. It's a hereditary illness, and it could be passed down by generations. It could live stagnant until a point. It's very common in women, especially more their mature years, or when they go through really life-changing moments, whether it's divorce, pregnancy, any really huge environmental change or physical change in their lives. People are more likely to get diagnosed with lupus if they're not taking care of their mental and physical well-being. So what it is, it's where you have more white blood cells than red blood cells, and it starts attacking your own blood cells, and it can attack any organ in your body. My mother, she actually has lupus, and it attacks her liver mainly, and that's called SLE lupus. So she battles the most aggressive form, and it's hard to manage. It's constantly treated she goes through chemotherapy for it, or narcotics, so things that can be able to help her manage her pain symptoms. Constantly we receive the notices we don't know what to do. All we can just help you feel comfortable along the way. And she's 55. She's not old. She's living a great life, as much as she can. But hearing those words is very hard because we want to find a cure. And even the doctors that are looking into helping her are at a standstill. They're like, it's mysterious. It doesn't show up on test results. It took a long time to diagnose her. And she has other also. So someone that lives with lupus or has lupus most likely has other underlying health issues like fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, another form of autoimmunity. And it's one of those aspects where if you don't understand your own health, you're most likely not going to help communicate those symptoms or those needs to your doctor, and they need as much information from you as possible and your care team to help you diagnose it. So unfortunately, it's more diagnosed nowadays than not, but it takes a long road to get there. And that's why we have the L4Lupus Foundation, so we can help people really learn about what lupus is, understanding that there's flu-like symptoms and it becomes constant and reoccurring. You notice maybe your joint pains if you're going through, constant flare-ups at work or stress, or you're, just finding yourself in a daze. You'll get brain fog, you'll get joint pain, you'll get stiffness in all types of parts of your body. It could impact any part of your body. You can get also a butterfly rash where oxygen stops flowing to your face and you start getting redness and different patches on your face. This is all symptoms, and it's not just in women. It is also in children. It's also in men. Anybody can develop lupus. And that's really what lupus is the body attacking itself.
Yeah, I've heard that, you can get drug-induced lupus as well. Apparently that one goes away, I guess, once you stop the drugs, or neonatal lupus, where is it if the mom is affected, and then it passes to the baby temporarily?
It's more of when they're testing a new drug, something that can be a clinical trial or a new pain medication. Your body has a bad negative reaction to your blood cells, and then your blood cell starts attacking itself. I don't believe it's the one where your mother can pass it to you. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I'm not so familiar with that one.
But so your mom has lupus, and I'm sorry to hear that, because I was really hoping that it was no, I just decided to do this out of the goodness of my heart, but
it always has a heart
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when
there
it comes
has to
to
be
some,
something involved.
and I was worried, like,
Yeah.
I'm almost sure that it has to do with like a family member or a friend or
Yeah.
herself. And it's like,
No, it's my mom.
it is
my mom.
it's one of those things though, that's like, you are one of the few people that like maybe 1 out of 100 that turns that into like, let's fight this instead of let's not just fight this us, but let's fight this everybody. You know what I mean?
Because that alone is, everyone has experienced flu-like symptoms. Everyone's been sick in their life. They can relate to someone with lupus because they know what it's like to have a headache, to have a cold, to feel like the flu-like symptoms, whether you're tired or groggy or brain fog. Everyone's experienced that. If you haven't, then you're not human.
Right.
So, yeah.
And it's not even it. Of course, it's being sick. Nobody wants to be sick, and nobody certainly wants to be sick for forever, you know, but it's also like the lifestyle, because instead of living your life and doing, I don't know what 55-year-olds do. They go on boats and do things like that. Maybe they go fishing, but
My mom's in Hawaii right now.
oh, well, hey, but
Aloha.
you know, like your life revolves around now your sickness. And now, like, that's a
Yeah.
lifestyle in itself,
Yeah.
you know, and it takes so much away from
Oh my gosh.
what life you do have left.
I think that lupus takes a lot of my mom's life, and it sucks to see. And that's why I do what I do. And I'm impacted by it so greatly, because it's not just an everyday thing. It's an every minute thing.
Yeah.
It affects the body dramatically. It is very painful. When I asked my mom, what do you feel? What is the symptoms you feel? What does the inflammation feel like? What does the pain feel like? Sometimes it's a stab in her kidneys. Sometimes it is walking on pine cones. It's imagining someone hitting her with a truck. These are all descriptions that she's given me, and these are common symptoms or descriptions that other patients that we talk to within our organization shares with us.
God, getting hit by a truck, that's not a symptom that I mean, I have got hit by a truck, but
Have you really?
yeah. Yeah, skateboarding.
Okay, wow, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. But it was a Tacoma. It wasn't like a Silverado or anything.
I think any truck at the point, doesn't matter if it's small or big. It sounds like it would be painful.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's never something that you associate with a sickness. You know, with an injury or something, sure, but like a sickness, like having that kind of like blunt force feeling with a sickness
Without an
know?
experience like
Yeah.
seeing it coming
Yeah.
or having an actual truck hit you.
Yeah.
They just wake up and feel that way. And they can have a great day the day before, and the next day they feel like that.
Right, because there is certain days where it's bad, then it's not worse, and it's you can't plan for it.
No.
And you can't. There's no way to map it out, and there's no rhyme or reason to why you had a good day, really,
Right.
versus
You
a
could
bad
plan
day.
to go to your child's graduation that day,
Yeah.
and lupus will wake you up that day and have other plans for you.
Yeah, just like one day your white blood cells were just chill, then the next day they're like
Overnight.
just feeding on anger.
Yeah, it's feeding on maybe something. I don't know. It's a mystery. It's really a mysterious aspect, and I hope we find a cure to it and figure out what the root cause of it.
I mean, needless to say, you said it was hereditary, so you're probably worried for yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
I
to some
endured
extent.
a wrist fracture. You see this gnarly scar.
Oh wow, whoa.
I know it didn't heal right, so it's nice, pretty little thing. I was roller skating, and fell back on my wrist, and it broke. And it was very traumatic to my body. I gained 30 pounds, and since then, I have a hard time sometimes getting out of bed. My body has a different just chemistry now. It's just changed it, and people with that go through car accidents will soon after develop lupus. Some type of impact in your life can create lupus. I haven't been diagnosed with lupus, but I'm mindful of it. I'm mindful of, okay, if I'm ever feeling very low energy or if I have joint pain, I know that I'll be fine, but it is a little nervous. I'm nervous to go and see like a professional about it. For one, I probably won't have anything on my test. It'll probably not show up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be fine, but I'm not naive. I'm aware, and that's where we have preventative measures in place that I practice, and I've been developing over time just by watching how my mom took care of herself, and then I would see the patterns. And it's very easy for a child to see those around you, how they treat their life, and what comes of it. So I would see if my mom didn't get enough rest, didn't eat right, the next day, all right, mom's not going to be able to participate today. She's not doing well. I saw these patterns and then the results of those patterns. So to me, eating right, managing your stress, learning how to put your boundary and your either your love first or learn how to say yes or no, but your L up. This is how we started L4Lupus is really learning when to say no, when to say yes, and really kind of thinking ahead of the reaction of your decisions. And so I'm mindful of that. So I'm not too fearful if I were to down the line, maybe after I have children or something, develop something like lupus, because it's hereditary. It could happen, and it's happened to my mother. It happened to my aunt. There's people in my bloodline that has it. Am I afraid? No, I'm not, because I'm very supported. I have a support group, and I've developed support groups within the L4Lupus Foundation. And anyone out there that lives with lupus, I encourage you to join our online support groups. I encourage them to learn how to communicate their pain authentically, unapologetically, and to journal and to do whatever you can to learn about yourself, because it's different with every single person.
Yeah.
And no journey is ever the same. And even me, as I talk about my wrist fracture and how my body isn't the same after that, that's my journey. That's my story. I can share that. My mom has her story and she can share hers. No one can tell your story like yourself. If they will just get the essence of you and not the true you. And we have to learn the essence of ourselves so we can share that with our doctors, with our family, with our work. A lot of people unfortunately don't own it. They don't own their own essence, and they want to put it on the table. I'm fine today. I'm okay. Realistically, they couldn't get out of bed for an hour that morning.
Yeah, I mean, even if you do, like you said, go to the doctor and get tests, you know that it's going to probably be no, because it's so hard to detect,
Yeah.
And if it's yes, it's like you're going to second guess that too.
There's no cure either. So it's like a lot of people are, whether they go yes or no, they're not really encouraged to go to get the healthcare system,
Right.
Especially in the United States.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, and a lot of issues are happening right now with insurances, and they're afraid. A lot of Americans are afraid right now
Yeah.
to go and be honest and say, I have all these things wrong with me and I need the support, and I'm keeping it secret to my family and even myself and to the doctors because I'm afraid of the future, what it holds, what's going to be available to me. What do I have to make time for? I don't have time to take care of myself. I have to take care of my family. I don't want to take care of myself. And men do this all the time. They will put things underneath the table and say, I got it, babe. I got it, family. I'm going to do whatever it takes to put the bread on the table, even if it kills me. That's my job. Mm-hmm. Same thing with mothers. A lot of mothers are not wanting to admit they're sick. And unfortunately, the nightmare stories that we hear with our foundation is they go to the ER because they cannot handle the pain on their own anymore. They never come out.
Oh. God.
And the children are confused. They come to me. They come to my foundation. I lost my mom with lupus. I didn't know she had it until she died. So that's why we talk about the awareness. We talk about breaking the stigma with being sick. And it doesn't have to be with lupus. It can be any autoimmunity. It can be anxiety. It can be depression. It could be all sorts of issues. And everyone has their own journey, their own health booklet they need to fill out on their own. They need to do the work.
Have you ever thought of like, because I know this can help some with arthritis and some autoimmune diseases, like stem cell therapy and that
Yes.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that probably in the United States is a little bit watered down, but places like Panama or South America, you could go there and get like some top-notch treatment.
Yeah.
I've heard. I know it's
Yeah.
expensive too, though.
Yeah, there's that aspect, and people, if they're afraid to leave the country right now because maybe their status, there's those aspects, and then there's the money.
Yeah.
A lot of people with autoimmunity and chronic illnesses are most likely on disability because they've called out of work too many times because they woke up feeling like they got hit by a truck, and they don't have the energy or the bandwidth. So unfortunately, they're on disability, and everyone knows that that's very low income. They
Yeah.
can't afford it. They would need to find a sponsor and or a corporation to help them get there. And everyone wants to keep all of that within the United States. So it's very hard to find that resource. There's a lot against them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like the money alone, right? Because there's no way any insurance is going to cover that. I mean, even if you work for the government, they're not going to send you
To
to
the
Panama or the Philippines
yeah.
or anywhere to get different treatment.
No.
There's no way.
We should connect forces with the world.
I mean,
to do that.
I think that's a little bit, I don't think that they want to do that.
No, of course not. They don't want to dip into each other's pot, but
I mean, it's like, because you look at like Spain, right?
Yeah.
And all these people, like, they go there for special cancer treatment, and sometimes they come back fixed, where it's
Yeah.
not like they're over there for a long
Right.
time, And over here, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't had to deal with that a lot, thank God, but there's somewhat of an incentive to prioritize treatment over a cure.
yeah.
And it's like nobody wants to say that, and I hate saying that, but there's that, plus like you alluded to earlier before we started recording, but like
European standards.
but the environment,
Yeah.
like we piss and shit where we eat,
Yeah.
basically, like with all the data centers, the pollution, and I mean,
All
you
of
could,
that
yeah,
affects our health. It
Yeah.
affects our health directly. From the moment we step outside, the sun ray, the UV rays, to the air quality, to the water we consume. All of these are factors that we have to consume every single day. And if we're not mindful, we could be in an area that has toxic airways, and that the pure access to it, going out, living at home, you could be in a situation where you have no control of it, right? This is the house you bought 15 years ago. Since then, something has been built around the corner that's been operating in an unhealthy way. Now you're affected by it. And what do we do in those cases? We don't really do much. We endure it.
you can't. I mean, the United States has one of the highest populations of people with chronic illness.
Yes.
And so, but we spend the most on healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
And a lot of people that are chronically ill are not receiving the proper care to overcome their chronic illness.
Right.
They remain chronically ill.
They're just basically giving them just enough to like stay alive,
Yes.
or to go home feeling a little less shitty than you came in with.
And then they
it's just-
resort to other things
Right.
because they're tired of that drug. That's how a lot of the people that are unhoused right now, a lot of homeless, you go to some of them right now, you'll probably find out that they're also dealing with chronic illness themselves. And then they've completely just given up. They've given up working. They've given up trying. Now they are just depending on a small community that are surviving. People are surviving like that in their own homes. People are surviving like that in the streets. And it has to do with their mental and physical well-being.
Yeah.
So if we start with healthcare at a chronic illness level, I'm sure we will see a drastic change in all the other areas. Mental, the homeless, I'm not sure what we're calling it now, the unhoused spaces. A lot of them would be greatly impacted for the better if we start at the root, which is at a younger age of just simply having awareness, tools, access to care, without all of the co-pays, without all of the maybe 2 to 3 month out appointments.
The 2 to 3 month out for a specialist, that is why even do it? You know, like at that point, 2 to 3 months to see a specialist. Yeah. Why?
It's really bad.
And I mean, you almost have to.
Your symptoms have completely changed. Your whole being changed because we change over time.
Yeah.
Especially women. We just every month we're just a different person. And
I don't know anything about that.
So like 3 months, like your entire like if you're chronically ill, it's like they're looking for only the chronically ill because if you're going to create an appointment 3 months from now, like you're just letting that symptom be there with untreated for so long. 3 months is too long.
Yeah,
and we need more doctors. With availability.
I think that I mean, maybe AI will help with that, right? Maybe Dr. Google gets a little better.
So actually, the foundation is partnering up with a lot of AI agents. A lot of nonprofits are just so they can be able to have someone to talk to that is specifically a lupus expert that can be able to help aid in autoimmunity. So that is something that is happening. And I'm proud to say that we are trusting in that and working with companies that can do that because that's immediate answers, immediate ways to stay accountable. And that is exciting. That is exciting just to have someone other than your care physician that won't see you until months away.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about AI is that it's instant. It's just a type away. One text message away.
I mean, I also think that this whole chronic illness thing, it has to we have to change our whole society, our whole economy because you can't be using the fertilizers because that's kind of it starts there, right?
Yeah.
Where the commercially created fertilizers that go and they make all the monocrop agriculture that we are basically addicted to, right? Because we're
going to have to redo a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big part of the initiative with, what's his name? The head of health now.
RFK.
Yes. Him.
I got to do the voice.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So that was his big pull is to make more ingredients clean, more of what other countries are doing. And that's exciting. And we'll get to see how the world is impacted with that or the United States. There's a lot of things out there. I think ultimately what we can focus on is what we have in our home and learn more about what we're consuming. And then also not just what we're eating, but what we're seeing, what we're hearing, the people we hang out with, the entire community and environment that we create for ourselves. That's where we have control.
Yeah, and learn how to read studies yourself.
Yes.
Don't just paraphrase. I mean, and another thing with AI, you just get the study, feed that through AI. What did it say?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Right.
Because you don't have to be medically literate anymore to understand what lupus is, what they say.
Right. Or a diagnosis or ways to prevent it. You don't need to be a doctor to find a way to treat a symptom. We've had answers for many years holistically. If you have a headache, take chamomile tea or there's something that we have in our home that we can be able to ammo up on. And we have a lot of access to drugs that we can be able to order and ask for from our doctors. If we're aware and we've done those clinical studies and we've been able to research and you are willing to try it, don't wait for a handout.
Right.
A lot of people do wait for a handout and to be told. And I mean, one doctor versus 300 patients, how much care are you really going to get? Use them as a tool. Use them and tell them, hey, today I want a letter of recommendation for my unemployment. I want to be able to try on this new medication and I want to, refill my prescription. That's the conversations that need to be had with your doctor. And then here are some new symptoms that you should have for your records and you have to be advocating for yourself. You have to push the doctors. And unfortunately, people go to the doctors and they're crying and they're complaining and they have the emotional attachment to their illness and they're not talking to their doctors like a doctor. They're talking to them like a psychiatrist, and they're not. There's a lot of underlying issues that come with when you have to unveil your symptoms, because then you also have to see maybe some trauma that you're not also addressing. So we have to learn how to separate that in communication with specific people in your care team. If you're going to go to your problems, go to a psychiatrist. If you're going to go to your doctor, ask for the prescriptions and the updates and the new symptoms and things that you've noticed, that you've logged on this day, on this time, and things that you're taking, so it can be on your record. Because you could have a new doctor, and this emotional, it's not a friendship. I said,
Right.
don't be friendly with your doctor, be direct.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, there's all kinds of things that you could do even before it gets to that too.
Yeah.
Like you can, like, for instance, for when it's cold and flu season, right? We make this kind of thing in there that has it's just garlic and honey, right?
Amazing.
And just you like flip it up and down for like a month.
Let
and
it
then,
ferment.
Yeah. And then you have like a nasty scoop of honey and garlic. It doesn't taste good, but it does
Strengthen your immunity.
Strengthens your immunity. And so maybe it's just a little bit, but it puts it over to where if you do get sick, maybe you just get like one of those clogged nostrils or something, but, cause I don't want and maybe this is like coming from a point of not being sick or anything, but like, I don't want the first thing to be prescription. Like if it's like one of those things that's coming on, eat better, don't go to McDonald's anymore. Don't buy the Lunchables.
What if
don't drink soda?
Maybe they're pushing things out 3 months because they want to see what we do.
I mean, it could be.
You could do a lot in 3 months.
It also could be like, if you're really serious, then you'll wait the 3 months.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
If it really hurts,
they should just tell us that then.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were to put that out there, like disclaimer, you have a chance to figure this out on your own.
Yeah.
And then we'll be here.
Yeah.
On that 3rd month.
Yeah, it's like by month 3, it's like, oh no, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for scheduling it out because you really did force me to seek other help.
Right.
And now I don't really need you at all.
I feel great.
Yeah.
No, but I think that with people with lupus, they do feel terrible.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that do all the things.
Mm-hmm.
They eat right. Some go vegan. Some are taking all the vitamins. Some are really researching, and they still, no matter what, feel terrible.
Yeah. It sometimes, I mean, I say like it's a good place to start, but sometimes it is not enough.
Right. It's not. And there's a lot of clinical trials. There's CAR T-cell therapy right now, which is proven to help reverse symptoms with lupus, which is really great. I can't speak too much about it, but it is a new studies and there's new things that are coming out that are helping lupus patients, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean that's the job of big pharma.
Yeah.
That's their job.
Right.
Not to put all this money in sports or on TV. Their job is to innovate those new things.
Right.
Like that's what you're there for, and that's what the doctors are there for too. I think sometimes they get a little overwhelmed because you're just, medical record number 3486722.
Right.
Really, and a lot of times doctors get moved around to different medical groups. And so you don't really have that relationship anymore. It's not like you go to the doctor, like it was a long time ago where, oh yeah, hey doc, how are you? And it's just not like that anymore.
Right. Now they need like 4 different people to see. They need a rheumatologist, they have their primary care physician, and they have all the other doctors that they have to see for different things. They need referrals from their primary to get all of these things. Just to even get the referral from their primary sometimes is very difficult because the lack of belief. So a lot of doctors are overwhelmed and they don't even get to that point of believing some of their patients and saying, I don't know if you are addicted to your pain control because it's addictive, or you're really seeking help. And everything I've done is I don't know, I haven't been able to help you. So there is this level of lack of belief there that really hurts and delays people with lupus, because sometimes they could be in full-blown organ failure, like my mother. She went to the hospital 15 years ago, said, I am not well. I was here yesterday. I still feel terrible. I know something's wrong with me, and I need tests to be ran, please. They denied her. They said, here's your dosage that you usually come get whenever you need pain control when you come into the ER. We have it on your records here. Addict. And go home. The nurse did not let my mom go home. Thankfully, they got a urine sample. Her urine was burgundy, full of blood. Immediately, the whole chain of events changed. She was admitted into the hospital for 3 months. And they were ready to send her on her way because she can't speak for herself. She's in pain. She's near death. She's telling them with every strength she has, I am sick. I don't know what's wrong with me. Please help. But people paint that story every day, and they will to get the narcotics.
Well, pain medication, especially, like ever since the Sackler family did the OxyContin thing and was like, oh no, it's not addictive,
Right.
And then they got everybody addicted.
Right.
And then it was like a knee-jerk reaction, like, oh no, now we can't let anybody have it. But not only now do you have people addicted, but that's like the only thing that's on the market for pain now. And so what do you expect people to do? Everybody feels like a drug addict when they go and they say they're in pain. Even if you're not. You say you're in pain, you get the, how much?
Right. Where's it at?
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
just like 20 years ago, you said you were in pain and you were shoving this down my throat. And now it's like, I didn't want to take it then. I don't want to take it now, but I don't like feeling busted up.
Right.
My
mom doesn't like it. She doesn't want to go to the ER. She needs to. Mm-hmm. Remember I mentioned it was a minute by minute thing. A minute with lupus, a lupus flare up, sometimes I'll stand there. It feels like a lifetime. Just seeing someone in so much pain and just being attacked at all levels without even, it's brutal. It's brutal to watch. It's brutal to see. And I can only imagine the pain that she's in. And anything at this point, please help her just calm down. Help the pain go away. I'm just like, give her every medicine that she can get, please.
Yeah.
Even though there's terrible side effects. Weight gain, inflammation, you get turned into a chipmunk with steroids. It's not an enjoyable process. And people are not taking it because they enjoy it. It's because this is the only thing that's helping them and that they can actually find a level of relief. And that's the hard reality, is when you do take a level of narcotics, you have to increase that dosage because you become, what's that word where a tolerance, you build a tolerance.
Yeah, tolerance, yeah.
Yeah, you build a tolerance for it. And unfortunately, it just increases. The level of steroids and narcotics my mom has to take to minimize her pain is a dangerously high amount. And it's not because of her doing it. It's because she's been living with it for so long that we can't stop her now.
Right.
We can't just stop her steroids. She almost died when they did that. It's her body's dependent now on these medications. And it's that level of, let's not get there. Let's not get there for the next patient. Let's figure out how to gradually get her off of these things and figure out another form of medication that isn't as harmful to her bones and to her body and to her liver and her kidneys. We have to. That's what we advocate for, is the further of longevity of someone's life. Hopefully there's a life where my mom doesn't battle lupus and she doesn't have to face what she's going to do every day based off her illness. That is a mentally draining life to live.
Yeah.
She's so strong. You wouldn't tell that she has it. And a lot of people with lupus, you can't tell. If I had lupus, you wouldn't be able to tell. If you had lupus, I wouldn't be able to tell. I may be able to notice you might be on steroids because I can see the chipmunk cheeks. I'm able to see some butterfly rashes because I see the different color on your cheeks. But I wouldn't be able to say, wow, I knew you had lupus, or, oh, you don't have any hair. You must be on chemotherapy. You don't know what people are going through. And there's so many people out here living with a chronic illness and lupus and maybe don't know about it or just don't tell you about it.
Yeah. And well, you live through all the physical pain for so long that it does start to take a toll on your mental health.
Right.
And, there's just, I don't know how, I just don't know how you would get around that, eventually there's going to be so much toxins in the body that I don't know what you do. Could you flush it? There's no like
detox. You could detox some of the heavy metals and the things that are just living there in your body that's just naturally there. The medication, yeah, my mom will have to detox after an emergency room visit. She's sweating and she's going through just like a regular detox, and it's painful and it's hard. And a lot of people have to go through that.
I mean, and it's your mom too. I imagine the only worst thing would be if you had it and she had to deal with you having it.
I don't know.
You know,
That
like
would
if
be
your kid
crazy.
has it, that's like the worst. You know, like your mom has it, that's your mom. You
Right.
know?
I don't even know. I haven't even thought about it like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It seems like because I did a little reading before you got here, and it seems like the kids that get it, it seems to be the kind that goes away quickly. Like it brought on by something. You know, I imagine there are kids out there with the really bad one, but I mean, God, that's devastating. You know, like to have a little kid that has to go through all that shit and they can't.
Parents are a wreck.
Yeah.
Parents are emotionally in distress more than the child. I think it's just hard to see anyone you love go through pain.
Well, and dealing with the medical bureaucracy is also not good for your mental health.
Right.
You know, like you almost I think it would be an interesting job for somebody to have that's just like, I deal with medical people so that you don't have to. You know, like I'm the guy that fills out the paperwork that like I say what the doctor, I tell the doctor exactly what they need to hear, you know?
Patient social worker.
Yeah, right?
That would be fantastic. So we have something like that with our program. It's a Lupus Butterfly BFF. It's where they go with you to the actual doctor's visit to kind of eliminate the emotional and, you know, the things that you want to get accomplished. So I'm like, hi, my name is Bryanna. I'm with my patient. I'm an advocate for her and her lupus journey. Today, we're going to get the letter of recommendation for her job and employment, a referral letter for this new doctor, and we'd like to try this new treatment, and we'd like to report all of her latest symptoms. And when I went there and I did this as an advocate, doctors shaking my hand, can I have your card, please? I need more advocates like you along with patients because I only have 15 minutes.
Right. And you don't have the 15 minutes to deal with 11 minutes of emotional baggage and then 4 minutes of, also this hurts.
You don't.
You know, like
you want to empathize, and that story is super important. They want to be heard, but that's why I'm here. I'm like, empathize to me. I'm going to hear you, and I'm going to tell the doctors, oh, by the way, she did also mention that she was, you know, depressed for the past week, you know, but in her words, it was, no one believes me, and she's going through it, or the patient. So I think having a person in your corner that can be able to help you is super important. And we're accepting volunteers. We're accepting nurses that want to contribute more time to be able to partner up and do these doctor visits with local Sacramento patients because there's a lot of need for it. There's families out there that cannot support their mother or their child at that time because they're at work during that time. So having someone to be there with you is super important. Also, I loved your idea about that patient advocate or a social worker that can be accountable to all the things that you need to sign up for.
Right.
And making sure you have your insurances. And there is those providers, you know, the people that work at the county that will make sure that you have it. They're not there for you, though. They're just doing their job and making sure that,
they're getting good benefits.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're there,
No complaints
you know.
on that, but that needs to be redone too, because there's a lot of warm bodies just, you know, filling spaces, and I think we could utilize a different system that can be able to really empathize where someone's at with their healthcare, and we can have those options for people.
Yeah, put a couple extra chairs at the DMV and send them there. You know,
Right? That'd be great.
because you know, I mean, you know the kind of people. It's the people that they. Yes, sir. You'll still have to, like, it's like that, right? It's that token lady from,
tough.
what is it? Monsters, Inc., right? That's like, fill out the form.
They're just
you know,
repeating the same thing every day. They don't have that. They don't have that bandwidth to. No one really can when all they're doing is receiving calls every day with the most traumatic moment of someone's life, and they're not getting paid enough for this. They don't get enough support from other people. They literally have to fill out 15 applications. Each application takes 30 minutes, and that's very draining on anybody.
Yeah.
There has to be a shared responsibility on top of that. I don't think what is established right now, what's put into place, is enough to meet the chronic needs of Americans right now. I don't. I think there needs to be extra support. I think it needs to be after 5 p.m. because they're only open 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, what if you're working? You can only call for 30 minutes. That call is going to be longer than 30 minutes. You know, so it's just access to resources and care. And I hope that there is an adjustment there. And I don't have the answers for it, but I just encourage a supportive system that can be able to be 24 hours, that can be able to, you know, people can opt in from all over to support one another in the United States. I think we can all do it. I'm down to volunteer a few hours.
I mean, you know, it's just, I think that kind of thing in general, like, even if you go and like, a good friend of mine had a seizure recently, and he like fell and he shattered a vertebrae, right?
Oh, no.
But like,
that's terrible.
First of all, he's getting better now, but he's got a pretty sweet cane now. But
Walks with the limp. Like
yeah.
old Pete.
Exactly. I'll show him that. He'll love it. But you know, just him being able to like trying to navigate the disability system, the medical system, like, hey, you can't go to work.
Right.
But we're not going to tell you how to get money. You got to figure that out on your own.
That's a different department. Let me transfer you now.
It's a different department. Oh, and they transfer you to the wrong spot. Let me transfer you. Click. You're hung up.
And then you have to get back in line.
Yeah. Then you're back in the line talking to a robot for 5 minutes, and they have the calm voice. And by that third voice, that calm voice is like, hurry up.
Yeah.
000.
I encourage anyone that's calling any line is to immediately ask for the supervisor. Don't waste any time.
Yeah.
If you have all your information, your medical number, and you've done your diligence, come prepared. If you're asking for money, come with your last pay stubs, and most likely you might get denied because you make over $1,400 a month or whatever we're talking about, whether it's IHSS or CalFresh or any of the programs. Unfortunately, today's day, the margin is so low that even if you exceed a certain dollar amount, they're going to deny you.
And this is California.
And we can't even live off that.
Yeah, this is California.
And it hasn't adjusted.
Most expensive ever.
Yes, it's just insane. They need to raise that up. You know, I think that the fact that people are unemployed is because they're afraid to not have their health insurance. They're like, you know what? I'd rather have my constant medication and access to care than to go to work. So I'm just going to ride this out. And this is the quality of life that I'm putting out there because I need to be healthy for my kids and for my family. And I get benefits. There's perks of being unemployed, but that's why so many people are unemployed. And that's why the margin is so low. I think that if they raise it, it should be better because more access to care. Because $600, $700 a month for health insurance is too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I don't care what anyone says.
Especially for a healthy person, it's like, oh no, I'll fix it myself.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like, because I'm a guy. So I'm in that kind of mindset, you know, like a car. Oh,
right.
It costs what? Oh no, I'll fix it with a shoelace and some sandpaper then. And you know, I'm not, because it's just, and if you don't, another thing is like, if you go to the hospital and you have like a bill, right?
Right.
And you're like, oh, I'm actually not paying with my insurance. Oh, okay, then here you go. Well, what are you guys doing behind the scenes here? Why do they get charged so much? And then now it's like you're driving up the cost for everything else, right? It's like if there was like token millionaires or something that bought houses, and then like all of a sudden a regular person wants to buy a house. Well, that's now $1 million house too. That kind of is what's happening.
Yeah.
But you know, like that's healthcare now.
There's a lot of hands in the pot. There's a lot of underlining silent fees that we're getting taxed on. I don't know. It's just a mess. I think too many people are profiting off our health and they're getting money because we're sick. And I think that's where all of us need to wake up and realize that we need to be more in control of our own health, because if we put it in the hands of the government, they're just there to profit.
Right.
That's it. They're not
even very good at spending it.
No.
You know, that's the
thing. Can't even trust them. That's why would I give them the money?
Yeah.
I don't even want to give you the money.
I would just rather buy missiles myself. You know, if you're going to buy missiles, I would rather have the missiles. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, hopefully we can keep our ammo and our guns, and we can be able to have our own things ready to go. But who knows how everything's gonna be lining up, and I just don't really support the security that's being put in place for us. I'm a little nervous for our protection, but most importantly, our health. Figuring out how are we going to take care of ourselves. How can a 30-year-old or a 13-year-old or someone that's young can be able to afford health insurance without literally either picking their health insurance or groceries that month? It's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a certain... There used to be a, kind of back to cars, but like there used to be a law where if you had just like $10,000, like on a bond or in cash somewhere that you could access and you could prove it, then you didn't need to have insurance, you know? And so I'm not saying that that would be like a viable thing for health insurance, but for somebody that's like relatively healthy to have to spend maybe half of your paycheck or more every 2 weeks or every week that you get paid, it's like half that gets taken out. And then all of a sudden one day, like you're sick and we're not going to cover this one.
Right. And
what the hell?
The copay of that is $10,000.
Yeah.
Because we had to give you a CAT scan.
Yeah.
And that CAT scan, we only covered 30% of it.
It's insane.
If they're going to change things up, it's always constantly developing. I encourage people to go and figure out exactly what their policy looks like right now.
Yeah.
Because you would think that you're covered for a fracture, like I thought I was. In actuality, I was not. And I had to wait 2 to 3 weeks to even be seen.
While this thing is all growing all nasty bones in there.
They had to re-break it. I broke it the first time initially. They had to break it twice after because it had grown incorrectly. Took 2 to 3 weeks for it to grow. And I'm calling, perfectly able, 100%, nothing to do. I was on the phone for hours trying to get my insurance to cover it and put me in with a primary care physician, get me my x-rays. I just went to the ER, and thankfully one of the hospitals had an emergency insurance for someone like me. But I had to write an affidavit that I'm not working and I make less than $1,200. And I had to during my whole duration of my fracture because I signed that paper. So I couldn't go to work, but I got the care. Oh, mind you, they did a great job. This scar is so beautiful.
You should make it into like a tattoo. It kind of looks like a snake. You know?
The story has enough to say on its own.
Like a corn snake, not like a rattlesnake, but like a friendly snake.
I'll probably make it a butterfly, like put some wings.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I might need to do a close up on the camera. Look at my gnarly scar.
We'll have you on again after the tattoo's done.
Okay.
I know a guy.
Okay, cool. I don't know. I don't have any tattoos, so I don't know. My parents are kind of against it.
Oh, really?
I'm like mama's girl. I can't disobey her.
Well, yeah. I mean, good for you because you probably shouldn't now.
Yeah.
But
it's so tender. If anything touches it, I'm just crying.
Oh, really? It's like the skin feels like a plastic bag?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I just don't even want to touch it. No needles, please. It's already endured enough pain mentally.
Oh, don't flex
physically.
too hard.
I know.
You might pop that thing.
You hear it? Crunchy.
God.
But it was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare to get seen. And I'm a young, able, like, I will do as you say. I am diligent. And it took me 2-3 weeks to finally get seen.
And you can advocate for yourself.
I can advocate for myself. And just the mere act of me getting my health insurance back in order was terrible.
Well, and that was
also more traumatizing than the actual fracture.
Well, especially because they had to break it again twice.
Yeah.
You know, like, God.
I have a plate in here and 12 screws.
If it wasn't really broken, it sure as hell is now.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe in new places.
Jeez.
Massive compared to the other one. Anyways, it was very traumatic just to even process it. And a lot of people that even don't speak the language, I can only imagine someone that their insurance didn't roll over because if you don't renew it every year, it cancels. So say your mother or your grandmother in their 60s and 70s has to call, upload documents on the website, scan a QR code, get transferred, put 2-3 hours out of their day for the next 3 weeks just to reinstate their insurance. The process is just not, it's just not correct. It's ongoing and it's It's long and it's annoying. And you go through these people that are like, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm over here dying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in pain. My wrist is like all messed up. Somebody's knee could be out of place. And in that same way, they're doing the same thing.
Well, it's like they're almost, you know how people always say like they don't teach kids economics in school. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook or thing. But like they also don't teach them how to like make a doctor's appointment or navigate bureaucracy. That's more so than ever before. That's a thing. That's a thing that everybody has to deal with regardless of what you do. Like, unless you are literally the top 1% that can just pay your way through anything, like, obviously, there's doctors that are private, I'm sure, and they just charge, and they're like, what's really wrong? Well, let's run a full blood panel on you and see. You know, like, sure, yeah, I don't have anything else to do today, you know, but for everybody else, you know, the people that when you get pulled over and you get a ticket, it sucks because that's a lot of money. The people that have to pay and go to the regular hospital with everybody else have to pay insurance. That's a lot of money to them, to us, to regular people. That's a lot of money, you know, and the care is not.
I mean, it's not there if you don't have the money.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get the money. That's all we have to do.
Should be easy, right?
Yeah.
Just go outside and get it.
It's right out there.
Just got to go get it and work every single day, all day.
It's in a storm drain. Somebody dumped it in there it was chased.
Yeah. And that's also another thing too, is going out and making money and not taking care of yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
You could be chronically ill, but you're putting it out to the side because you're out working your job to make money, pay for life. But you're never home. You're stressed. You're in the constant state of anxiety.
You're not living.
You're not living.
You're
Surviving
striving
and
to live.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not
And it's
life.
commendable. And I love people that work their ass off. Excuse my French.
We use a lot of French here.
Okay, great. I speak French sometimes. So yeah, I appreciate those people. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. My family has a lot of businesses, and we work from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep.
Hustle.
It's a hustle mentality. It's a work culture. We were like that since I can remember. And that's great. But at what expense? At what cost? You know, will we find time to take care of ourselves? Or is that time going to tell us, hey, it's time to take care of us? And that's kind of what happens. Eventually, someone will work so hard until their body just stops.
Yeah.
Or hits that brick wall. And at that point, you've already developed a long line of symptoms that you've been ignoring. And now you get this diagnosis of cancer, diabetes, some chronic illness, lupus. And now you have to change. And you didn't prepare for it. I think everyone should always make room for it, no matter what. Even if they're working their ass off and they're taking care of their kids, there should always be a moment in the morning where you check in with yourself and figure out areas of how to take care of your health, whether it's packing of water, making sure that the food choices is on the agenda, and making sure that you're limiting stress. How we react to a lot of the things will also help us prevent chronic illness.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact. Trying to react logically instead of emotionally.
Yeah.
And when you are sick and hurting, it's very hard to act logically.
Yeah. But if you are in a routine, if you make a pattern for yourself that will work, then it's just going to be habitual. You'll just wake up, take your vitamins, drink your water, eat a good breakfast. Just that, you're setting yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Work culture, wake up, coffee, go. Drop off the kids, get an energy drink.
Oh.
Yeah. Stomach ulcers. All the things. You don't want that. So I think, we do have control in some ways, even though there's so much things that we talked about that is not in our control, like healthcare, maybe access to resources that could be able to help guide us. But there's some things, with AI, and if your family's there and can support, then great.
All right. Well, I know you got to get out.
Yeah.
I know you got to get out of here, but we'll go ahead and I'll put the link in the description.
Okay.
And for anybody out there
Yeah.
If you go to Taco Bell or Spirit Halloween and they say, would you like to donate to blah, 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 don't. Just donate to them. Donate to L4Lupus. It goes directly to them. It doesn't get spread into the bureaucracy. It goes directly to them. They're local. They're here.
Thank you.
And
yeah.
like I say, and we'll have you on again, especially when you make the tattoo of a butterfly there. And
yeah, it's been great. We touched on a lot of different topics today. And I think, if anything, just take care of yourselves out there.
There you go. All right, guys. See you later.